Hello YouTube, this is Amisbro. How are we doing? Today is October the 4th, 2017. It is the day when we do our very first anime first impressions. This time we are doing the Otome based anime Sengoku Night Blood. This one is an interesting one because it is based on a mobile otoge, which I believe the proper term is mobge, M-O-B-G-A. Somebody will correct me, I hope. This is an interesting series because, like I said, it is based off a mobile, and it is the first one that I remember that I've actually watched. All other ones so far that I have done have been either PC games or have been based off the PSP or PS Vita. Kind of hard to tell nowadays because there's lines actually blurred. So what is this one about? Well, this one, and we're going to be using, by the way, the synopsis based off of my anime list here. Set in the flourished world of Jinga, that was formerly a prosperous and peaceful realm, the female protagonist is deemed to be the key to bring back order and to rule this world. Chaos started when people, specifically soldiers who had special powers, like turning into a vampire and a man-wolf, called the Getsugaku, fight for their land. These soldiers are different species. Would put their life on line and fight as they follow their own thoughts and ideals. Until one day, she was called by a mysterious lady named Himiko, due to the protagonist's blood bearing a mysterious power to give strength, healing, and to awake Sengoku's real form. This is a story of love and war that she must not miss in order to rule the world. And yes, they actually said that's why I had to slow down for a second. Going through all that took literally 2 minutes. That is the main synopsis of the story. It is going to go probably around 12-13 episodes, as most of these animes do. For the record, for anybody who's curious, Code Realize is slated to go 12. And I will not be covering that anime for reasons of I don't think I have good faith I could be unbiased when it comes to that anime. I just can't, so I'm not going to. This one was interesting for the first episode because it was about 22 minutes, I want to say. But what was really interesting was, you know how in most otoge animes they make sure that you meet everybody and then you have to try to remember everybody. Here they don't do that. Kind of. They make sure that you learn the name of the one army. The one army, which is based on vampires. But the other one, I think they're going to let us in on when we get to episode 2 next Tuesday. Which I believe they were called the Oda Army. So, there's that to think about. The name of the protagonist army, I guess we can call it, let's see if I can find it for you right quick here, is the Otome Army, which is the name we're going to go by, because one of the characters is named Hayoshi Toyotame. And he is a very interesting character. They all are, actually, all the vampires. One of them, who's a Magan, so automatically win, and I can't find him right now, he's a very interesting, laid-back character. Matter of fact, when Toyotomi was going through the introductions of the characters, and he went through their personalities, you learned very quickly kind of what you're going to get yourself into. One of the characters almost reminds me a lot of Kira from Heavens in Utapri, because he seems like the silent type that doesn't say shit. Now, I could be wrong on that, but c'est la vie, right? What's going to make this an interesting series, though, is the fact that we're not dealing with humans. We're dealing with vampires, and we're dealing with manwolves, as the term goes. Technically werewolves, but what the hell. What I'm going to be interested in seeing is how this story plays out, especially considering there is another character who I would have to go through my post to find for you real quick, because this character is the one that mentions the Heim individual. So when we think about that, and we let's see here, Imiari. The fact that Imiari can sort of kind of explain the story and make it somewhat digestible, which thank God, because one thing I've had with animes in the past is not having a clue about what's going on in the story. And it's not for the lack of not paying attention, because anybody who knows me anymore, when I watch an anime, I'm taking about 15 notes an episode. No joke. I got in trouble for this watching one other anime. But watching this one, I kind of digested what the story was. And now that this female protag, who didn't get a name, I don't think, which, that's annoying. Okay, look. I get what they were trying to do, I think. They're trying to make it where they don't want to give the character a name because they want you to be able to put yourself in that person's shoes or come up with your own name for the female protagonist in the story. For my purposes, I always name them Amy. Anyway. So, that's whatever. The animation is spot on. Love it. And I have a strange feeling we're going to be loving the animation for the next series with TsukiPro tomorrow. This is an interesting voice cast, considering that at least one of them, actually I think maybe two of them, are from Heavens, believe it or not. Let's see here. Take a look. By the way, for anybody's curious, we have Gurren's voice actor from Owari no Sereth. So that we got that. Daiki Yamashita. Hello, Shion. How you doing? Kosuke Toriyumi. You know him as Cecil from Utapri. Go quiet for just a second, because I'm trying to find. Because finally I think I saw Midori in here. I know you're in here, bud. Oh, Shotaro's in here. He, of course, Vireji from Kurojai. Apparently not. Okay, I'm a liar. Anyway, I hate it when that thing makes me have to be a liar, but what the hell. Yeah, I don't know why I thought Midori was in here. I thought I saw him on the cast list. Anyway. As we can tell by the cast, though, they spared no expense with some of the big ones. By the way, for anybody who asks, Toriyumi was also a voice actor in the Stand My Hero Match 3 Otoge games. So that, there's something for everybody to think about. On the first impressions, what were you thinking so far, though? I mean, as far as the story. Remember, it's one episode, so it's tricky to really say, well, it's a smash hit or it's got work to do. The pacing I didn't mind because, again, because it's based off an Otome style game, you're trying to introduce all the characters that are pivotal players. Well, they at least introduced the first half. They introduced the vampire army. The next one we really have to get introduced is the Manwolf. And we sort of kind of started to do that. But maybe the next episode will be done doing just that. So then we can have them fleshed out or introduced, and then we can say, okay, what characters do I like, what characters don't I like? But then it might also be a cluster trying to remember everybody. You know what I'm saying? You may be able to remember everybody by the time this series is over. Or you may not. It is all according. So far, so good, though, I think. Like I said, animation and voice acting is spot on. Pacing of the first episode, I had no issue with. Now, it took me a little bit longer to get through it because I had to take notes for it and do reactional posts. But I think next week is going to be a lot better, and I think we're going to be able to see just how well the show paces out. If not in the second episode, by at least episode 3. This will maybe give us an idea where we're going to be going come the season, and I hope you'll be willing to come with me on that ride on my Tumblr. So please do, because we're going to have a lot of fun, and you'll get to see me either freak out when somebody's getting stabbed, or you'll see me just bawling like a baby because somebody got killed. I pray to God not the latter. I hate being emotional during these friggin' things. Anyway, excuse me. I think that's my cue to wrap this up. Please go check out this anime. You may like it. And if you do, cool. And if not, well, then we know one thing. You only get one shot to make a first impression. And with me at least, Sengoku Night Blood started on the right foot. But it has a long way to go. And as I know very well, animes can stumble, bumble, and fall with the best of them. You all have a good night. I will talk to you tomorrow. TsukiPro's under the light switch, under the microscope rather. And I will let you know how the first episode plays out, because we're dealing with solids from the TsukiPro camp. So, I will let you know then. Until then, my friends, good day, good night, goodbye.